Hi there, this is Mark McRae, and today I want to talk to you about the three biggest decisions I think a businessman can make. And the first decision is who is going to be your partner through life, right? Maybe you have a short-term view, but who your partner is has an incredible influence on how successful you are, right? Are they supportive? Are they on the same page? I've been with my wife for 30 years. We've had our ups and downs like everybody does, but in general, we have been on the same page, headed in the same directions, and we have the same values. Now, I don't expect my wife to do what I have to do. I think that there's a misconception that, everything needs to be shared with your partner and they need to understand what's going on. I don't think anybody can really understand what's going through an individual businessman's mind. Right? It's a solitary journey, but you do need support. So number one, who is the right partner for you? Number two is which country do you intend to live in? And for a lot of people, it doesn't really matter. They never intend to live anywhere else but the country that they were born. Myself, I've lived in lots of different countries, and each of them was unique in its own way, and I've thought about staying, in all of those countries. But why it has such a big effect on you is, in order for you to build assets, you need to know what country you're going to be in. So, in other words, if you were in one country, but you know you're going to retire or live in the other country, that's really where you should build your assets, right? You can't just suddenly appear in a new country with a bunch of cash. They're going to say, where'd the cash come from, right? And the way the world works just now, the network of financial institutions, reporting is almost instantaneous. So, for example, I've known people who have had money in one country, and then when they did decide the country that they would like to live in, that money became a problem. They had to declare it. They had to, acknowledge that that was there and how they earned it. And that doesn't happen if you know where you're going to stay. So, for example, right now I am in Australia. My asset base is in Australia. Everything I own is in Australia, so I can accumulate assets. But if I knew, for example, I was going to go to another country, whether it be the UK, Canada, or America, that becomes problematic, right? When you have a lot of assets in one country, but you're going to live in another country. So it's one of the biggest decisions you can make. And a retirement planner or a financial planner would advise you of that. Decide where your base is going to be in the world. So that would be number two. Now, number three would be, what niche or what business are you going to be in? And it might sound simpler than you think, but as Warren Buffett said, what boat you're in will determine how successful you are. And I've given this example before, but for example, if you were to open a restaurant and it had 100 seats, there is a maximum you can earn because there's a finite amount of business that you can do there. If you were to open another type of business where there was unlimited possibilities, or there wasn't any ceiling in what you can earn, that's another type of business. But generally, if you look at, for example, it could be finance, it could be hospitality, it could be education, it could be a whole lot of different things. But often, how successful you are is determined by which boat you're in. If you're in the financial boat and are in and around financial products, for example, they tend to have a much higher, potential to earn money. If you're in hospitality, it can be limiting. And sure, you can have multiple hotels and you can go huge, you can be a Hilton or whatever, but generally, might be a harder boat to be in. So deciding what kind of business or what industry you're going to be in is a big decision, and in some ways is as important as the singular business that you're going to have. So the three big decisions for a businessman are: who's going to be your partner? Are they going to be the right person for you? Are they going to support you? Are they all in your dream and your vision? What country are you going to live in so you can build your financial base? And what industry you're going to be in, because different verticals have different limitations. Anyway, I hope you liked that today. A good place to get me is on YouTube. If you do go there, subscribe, leave me a comment. I'm always interested in feedback. Thanks for listening.